these clients to the cloud instances through firewalls. So yeah, shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So then, so till now we saw how to create the EC2 instance and how to connect from the SSH and how we can access also from the PuTTY. Now we are moving to the connecting those clients. Connecting the clients to those cloud instances through firewalls. How you can really configure the firewalls and how you can really monitor those firewalls as well. We will see that right now as this topic. But as of this topic, as you all know that a firewall is a kind of entry level checking either to the individual device or to the network. It is an entry level checking process. So it will check both incoming traffic and also the outgoing traffic. So whenever we say that checking will happen with respect to both the hardware level and also the software level, that's what we say that hardware firewalls and also the software firewalls what we have in the networking, right? So then later as a third level checking, sometimes where it will be done by the antivirus as also. So that's what it's a kind of a firewall checking. Like first level is hardware firewall, next is a software firewall, third level we also, if your system is having a antivirus, then it will also check the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic, right? So that's just awareness about the firewall, you all know that. So I'm just then again continuing with the firewalls in AWS cloud. So when you say that firewalls in the AWS cloud, so as in the normal networks we say it as a hardware firewalls, but as we are talking about the Amazon web services or any cloud services for that matter, so here we are calling it as a virtual firewalls, right? Instead of you call it as hardware firewalls, here we call it as a virtual firewalls. What it is doing, in the sense, obviously it is giving the what security by analyzing the traffic with respect to the instances, as we just created the EC2 instance, right? So we just created the EC2 instance, so where it will be securing the EC2 instances and also the subnets in your cloud, right? So for all that you are giving a security by using your firewall. So there are two types of giving the services, firewall services under this AWS. One is this SGs, which is security groups. That is what even I just shown you when we created the when we were creating the EC2 instance. It will, I hope you remember, it asked you whether to select the existing security groups or you want to create the new security groups. That I'll show you later. So like that. So one mechanism is that by using a security groups, there is one more thing which is NACLs, which is network ACLs, right? So you can use any of that, right? So if you ask me, can you use both? Definitely you can use both. It is not that you have to use only one. You can also use both for your requirement, right? So then continuing with that. So if you tell me like what I'm saying, if you ask me what are all the advantages, definitely the advantages something like it will allow the only the trusted services, are you called as trusted traffic request, right? So it will where it will be controlling both inbound and the outbound traffic. So both in both the cases, like security groups and NACL. When I say NACL, it is something like access control list, right? ACL, which is access control list, network access control list. So where it will be acting at the network layer, where security groups will be acting at the individual NIC level, which is network interface right connector level. At that level, the security groups will be acting, whereas NACL will be acting at the network level, right? So now, so by using this, when I say this security groups, SGs, which is a first line of defense, so which acts like a virtual server, virtual firewall at what level it is not acting at the network layer. In turn it will be acting at the an individual EC2 instance level, as simple as it will be working at the instance level, not at the network level. If you want at the network level firewall only, then go with the NACL, which is network access control list. Okay. Then obviously you'll be setting the inbound rule and outbound rules. Okay, how to set that, all that I'll be showing you. So some examples of inbound rule is like that. So this is already there as a default. Type is SSH type. Protocol which is used is the TCP in the transport layer. What is the port number is 22, right? And the source is my IP. What is the purpose? It is admin access, as we already mentioned, which is the default inbound rule whenever you create the EC2 instance. Then you can also set up. So this is what I was telling you when I wanted to, if I have to show you that how to access the instance from your browser, means you could have set this rules. So that's what I said you. I will show you now. So you need to first set up this rule in the inbound rule. Then only you can access that what that EC2 through the browser. That I can show you right now. Okay, so then yeah, this is what I am talking about, how to configure. Now let me to take you back to the EC2 instance. I hope it is clear. So as I was talking about, if you want to access this EC2 instance from the any browser, so you need to set up this required rule at the security group. If not, you can't access. That's what I'm showing you right now. Is it okay? Yeah, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll just take you back to the this is what the EC2 instance which we already created. So what I'll do, so in this, no, you can you can directly click on the instances. So and open that instance. So this is what our instance is. So here itself you can what click on this and go for it. If not, you can also click on this what security, and this security I want you to get into this security groups. Okay, I want you to get into the security groups. Click on the security groups. When you click on the security groups, this is what I was talking about, inbound rule. As of now, there is only one inbound rule, which is this, which is related to the SSH. Now I want you to add one more inbound rule. I wanted to add one more rule, which is related to the HTTP, because I want you to connect from the what I will just use my IP and say. So what I just added, one more rule which I just added, which is this, which is HTTP type TCP protocol, which is in the transport layer. Then port is HTTP port, which is 80, and the source IP. Now what I can do, I'll just copy the public IP. I can copy the public IP. I'll just go back to the EC2 instance. Or is it visible here? It's not visible. I'll just go back to the EC2 instance. I need to take the public IP. Yeah, this is the public IP. I'll just take the public IP. Okay, I'll just type HTTP colon. So that public IP. When I use that public IP, where I can IP through. So now you can observe the, as I hope you remembered in the previous discussion, when we accessed through the SSH, we have installed the Apache server onto that EC2 instance. I hope you remember that. So that is what it is access, which is Apache default pages visible. So from now onwards, if you it is left to you whether you are going to launch host the website, or what you are going to do, it is left to you. So I'm just showing you, this is how you can access your EC2 instance from the website web browser as well. But if you want to access that, you need to set up the respective what rules. Where you will be setting up, you will be setting up at the security groups under the network and security. You need to go to the respective security groups, and there are different kind of security groups which are, you see there was default and sec group which was already there. What is your security group? It is NCT sample group 1. You need to click on that, and you need to set up the HTTP. Even if I have to tell you one more thing, see what is the rule, inbound rule. What is the inbound rule we set up? It is HTTP only. Okay, we set up only HTTP. We did not set up for HTTPS. Both are not same, for your information. Now what I'll do here, if I see what I am using, HTTP followed by the public IP. I'll use HTTPS. And when I try to access by using the HTTPS instead of the HTTP? Will it allow? That's the next point, because HTTP and HTTPS both are not same. I hope you are all aware about that, right? So, but what are the rule which I have set up? It is only for HTTP, not for the HTTPS. I'll just open again. I'll open with the HTTPS colon. So you can see it will it should not connect because we have not set up for the HTTPS. We have set up the inbound rule only for HTTP. So it should not allow me. So only it is taking too much time. You can observe it will not allow me. Whereas if I use simply HTTP, so then it will allow me. See, within a fraction of seconds, it will allow me into that EC2 instance, where when I use HTTPS, it is still rotating. It is not allow. It will not allow. So that is what anyhow it will throw the error. Let it throw the error by the time. So that's what I was trying to convey. You need to as a firewall, as a first line defense. So as a part of your security groups, you need to set up the inbound rules and outbound rules. Based on that only you can access. So then later, as I already mentioned, so you can access from the SSH. You can also access from the web browser. This is what the case which I just shown you. But you can access from the different options. It is not only one option, but only one case which I just shown you. Yeah, can you observe this? When I use this HTTPS, it thrown me the error, whereas HTTP it gave me the access, because the reason that the rule we have set only for HTTP, not for the HTTPS. I hope it's clear. So whatever based on these rules only, you can observe as there is a SSH rule which is set up, so I can access from the command prompt. Okay, as there is a HTTP rule which is set up, HTTP rule is set up, so I can access through the HTTP. If the HTTP is also there, then I could have access from the HTTPS also. It is entirely based on the rules, whichever that's what we call as inbound rules. So what is happening actually, if you ask me? So this is the workflow. When you give, that's what, when you say that you want to connect the client, right? From the client, we need to send a request. That will go to where? That will go to the security group. In the security group, it will check the inbound rules. If in the inbound rules, if there is a respective rule, then only it will allow the traffic. See, that's what we just saw. When we tried from the HTTPS, it did not allow. When we tried with the HTTP, it allowed, because there was a respective rule in the as a set of inbound rules. If it is allowed, EC2 will receive the request and process it, and it will send back the response. If there is no rule, then at the security group itself, the request will be rejected. Right? So that is with respect to the first type of firewall, which is SG, which is security group. Next, which is, as I already mentioned, security groups which will be working only with at the instance level, not at the network level, right? Because in a single network, in a single subnet, there may be multiple instances. For at the individual instance level, this security group will work. Now, if you want to work at the subnet level, where that individual subnet will be having the multiple instances, then we have to move on to this, which is NACL, which is Network Access Control List. Before we move on to this NACL, guys, is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. So now, so what is this NACL? As the name itself says that network access. It is a subnet network access, from that is where we are setting up the respective firewall. So when we say that we are setting at that network level or subnet level or network level, what are we doing? It is again same kind of rules only. It is the same kind of rules only we will be defining, but only the thing that this part is important, which is action part. Which are all the things to be allowed, which are all the request has to be denied, which is rejected. So this kind of rules will be setting. So either at the security group or the NACL. In both the cases, what is that will be filtering. Okay. So what request has to be allowed, what has to be rejected. So that is a filtering process which will be done by your so-called firewall. So that filtering process is entirely based on these rules only. But those rules, if you set are the SG, which is security group, it will be applicable to only to that instance. If you want to apply those rules for the entire subnet, which is having n number of instances, then you have to set up those rules at the NACL, which is network access control list level, not at the SG. I will show you that. So for that, so as usual, I'll just go back to the here. Okay, now see, till now I was talking about only individual instance. Now I am talking about the network. When I say network, it is one virtual private. You can observe it is a virtual private cloud. So at the virtual private cloud, where you can create the multiple networks. Okay, this is, I will just this is a VPC. See guys, so whenever I'm just showcasing the case by case where whichever is possible, but learning about the entire AWS framework, it is not what it is not about 1 hour or 2 hours thing. So you have lot and items where you can explore more and learn more. There is no stop point for that. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, this is the routing table. I'll come to this routing table later. So I'll just go to the your VPCs. So right now one VPC is already available, which is virtual private cloud. If you want to create one more, go for it. But don't create the VPCs for for casually. Don't create it. Okay. So now this is what the one VPC what we are talking about. Under this, you can already see this is the one VPC, and these are the three subnets which we are talking about. All for all those three subnets, there is one routing table which will be keep on recording all the transactions. Okay. So under this, if you observe this entire one VPC I'm talking about, and in this I want you to get into this network ACLs. When you say network ACLs, which is network access control at the network level. Now you can see this is what my network, whatever the subnet what we have created, not subnet, what we say security group. This is the ACL ID which you can see. I can click on this. So here you can see there are no inbound rules and outbound rules. Inbound rules and outbound rules are not set. Okay, so only what it is showing, all the traffic. Can you see the traffic type is all traffic is denied, which is rejecting. It is rejecting all the traffic. Even outbound rule also, you can see all the traffic it is rejecting. If you want to set up, you can click on this edit inbound rules, and as usual you can add new rule. So select what, if you say HTTP example, I'm just saying HTTP. So here I want to allow. Okay, if I'll add one more. So like this. So example HTTPS, where is it? HTTPS. I don't want to allow like this. I hope you are getting. So for this, what I am setting, if the request comes from the HTTP, it is going to allow through the entire network. If the request comes from the HTTPS, it will not allow. That's what deny. You can set up the like this and then go for save changes. So this is rule numbers. You can set up anything. I will say 101, 102 like this. These are the rule numbers you can set up at the network level. Okay, this network ID itself is not found, so only it is showing. What I'll do, I'll just click on this and I'll show you. Okay, config file itself is missing. Okay, so that I hope that is because of the config file which is missing for this particular network ACL ID. It's okay. So what I'm trying to convey in this discussion is that when for any okay, he's logged out. There is a point. So okay, I have to log in and I'll show you. But I hope this is clear till now what I'm trying to convey. So whenever you wanted to set for the respective network, then you will have to define the rules at the NACL, which is at the network access list. At that itself, you need to set up the inbound rules. Similarly, you need to set the add which is outbound rules also, and that is where you need to clearly define which are all the requests has to be allowed and which are the requests need to be rejected. So based on that, filtering will happen at the network level itself. It don't have to go to the instance level, right? So then I just shown you the case study which I already shown you. As I hope you saw that I gave you for HTTP inbound rule. It you can allow, where because I shown you as allow. If you go with what HTTPS, it will I have given as a deny, which may reject, right? So now is the point. Here also I just listed out some of the items like this. If I given the allow for HTTPS, right? So and SSH. So and if you are trying to ping or telnet request, so obviously it will not allow. So that's what entirely to tell you in a simple way. This filtering process which will be done by the firewall at the what EC2 instance. So or you can say AWS at the cloud services, where you have at the AWS we have two services. One is at the SG, right? And the other one is the NACL. SG will act only for that instance. NACL will can act for the entire network. But in both the cases, that filtering do happens entirely based on the rules what you set, what you call as inbound rules and outbound rules. Based on those rules only, the filtering will happen. If you ask me the simple difference when you can use, that's what I already mentioned. The NACL, which is at the network level, security group, which is at the instance level only. Stateful inspection, which can happen at the network level, means no, it do happen. Stateful inspection will happen at the security group level like this. So what are the rules has to be added? The rules need not be added in the SG, because if you remember when we were setting the rules in the NACL, it asked me to give the sequence numbers for your information, right? So like this you can so can I set up which need to be allowed, which need to be denied in case of NACL? Yes, it was there, right? I hope you remember. So where you could able to give allow like this, you have option to give the allow and deny at the NACL, whereas in case of security group there was no such kind of option. If you have set up the rule, means it is allow only, there is no option for you to give no, not allowed like this. So even logging also you can have entire thing in the VPC, right? So so till there it is, that is how you can work with the both SG security groups and also NACL. This is one additional thing which I just wanted to throw some light here, that the routing tables you can also access from the SSH. Those routing tables, so it's logged out. So because I think it is timeout, so it's logged out. So but this slide I think I can tell you through the explanation only. So SSH, if I have to show you, yeah, here if you remember, if I do right, if I click now, it will log out because already EC2 is already logged out. So you see here what I'm trying to convey. See, it's already logged out. That's what I'm saying. Connection reset. But what I'm trying to convey there, like this, you can access the IP tables. The entire data from the routing tables you can access. And can I do any kind of changes in the IP tables from the SSH? Need not be directly in the browser level. Can you do in the sense? Yes. See, like this. If I have to set up a rule, if I have to set up a rule, example for the HTTP with the 80 port. See, this is the command where I can override, or I can write a rule into the IP tables. Okay, so saying that what port, what is that protocol, and what is the action it is accept. Similarly, even I can also drop the multiple rules from the respective table. I can also do that from the SSH I'm talking about, right? So then later I can save all the rules whatever you have set up for the Ubuntu. We can use this. And also I flush all that rules whatever I have made. That's what can I reset all the rules from the SSH. I am not going to the EC2 instance or to the AWS account, and I'm not deleting them individually. Can I do all together from the SSH? Yes, that's what sudo IP tables -ef, it will flush out all the rules. Like this we can work with the EC2 instance from the SSH as well, right? So that is how, those are the different kind of demos which I wanted to show you as with respect to the EC2 instance in this class. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.